morning.
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 How are you? Before I continue, maybe some of us didn't greet each other. And it's good that we all Africans can at least learn one word from another in the local language. That's why I brought this, you see. I'm not sure whether every language is there, but at least Kiswahili, Sesotho, Kikongo, Yoruba. Then we can say hello. If you can greet your neighbor in your local language, at least you can learn one word, like a jumbo, dumela. So let's just do this very shortly, very shortly. And this reminds us that we're Africans and that we should also preserve our cultures and languages. Can we do this, ladies and gentlemen? Good. Very good. I'm glad that we are doing this and we can continue to do this. It's a very good practice. Thank you very much. I'm here on behalf of Group 4, which has worked on institutionalization and coordination. My name is I-CYOGERE. I'm the Programs Officer of PAFO, and I'm here on behalf of this beautiful group. Dr. Matabo Tsepa, who's the chair of the group, Mrs. Elizabeth Tsimadala, Mr. Tammy Dlamini, I, Mr. Joe, and Mrs. Diana Sibanda. You can clap for us. Your group is 50% gender sensitive, you see?
I like this one.
Yeah, very, very good. Very, very good.
Gender balance.
Yes, gender balance.
Can I ask the percentage of youth?
Youth? Well, it's but next time, yeah, okay. Well, the Dr. Janet representing the African Union Commission and Mr. Ibrahima Koulibaly representing PAFO, the President PAFO, all protocol observed, ladies and gentlemen. Now I'm here to give you the findings of the key discussions of our group, as I said, which has worked on institutionalization and coordination. As an entry point, we realized that, the work, institutionalization and coordination cuts across all 6 strategic objectives, because when we are talking about all those 6, there is no way that institutionalization and coordination should be, it's a very strategic, a very important mechanism to take these strategic objectives forward. I will not just go through them, but it was just an entry point. Now, if I go straight to the question, we were asked to identify the gaps, the national, regional, and the continental levels. If it comes to gaps, we analyzed that there is inconsistent ad hoc stakeholders platform, which is not sensitive, gender sensitive. So if we talk about sensitivity, talk about youth, women, and sometimes we forget vulnerable groups, disabled people, and the other people that sometimes called marginalized people. So we need to make sure that this is addressed. There is also lack of sustainable ownership in terms of implementation, monitoring, evaluation, and reporting of CADA. I think it has been highlighted before that there has been gaps, problems on the reporting, having data from the national levels. There has been less awareness and communication about CADEP. This has been addressed so often along this workshop, as far as the previous discussions is concerned. We have analyzed that there has been not adequately resourced CADEP structures in terms of personnel and funding. That we have one focal point at national level, but sometimes if you look at the work log, the work map, and all the things that it has to deliver, it's not really much. At the regional level, we have analyzed that sometimes there is unstable regional joint agriculture sector review platforms. There are so many partners, there are so many people who are intervening, but there is no way to have this platform sustainable and very strong. There is also awareness at the regional levels, because some of the people intervening on the regional level coming to learn about the CADAP, sometimes there is gap, they don't know. And in terms of reviews, regional reviews, there are irregularities mainly due to funding. So if people can come together and sit together, try to review and see the indicators, this can improve more the CADAP. At the continental level, apart by annual review of the African Union Commission through AUDA-NEPAD, the AFO do not have a well-structured system to coordinate CADAP. This has been a gap which needs to be addressed as well. And there is inadequate awareness and communication about CADAP. Yes, we recognize the efforts that have been put in place by the AU, AUDA-NEPAD, but as it was highlighted, even from us who are here, how many of us know about these, declarations, about these commitments? It was a gap. Now, going to the actions, we need to make sure that we ensure women, youth, vulnerable groups. If we talk about vulnerable groups, we talk about disabled people and others, that they are represented well in various national frameworks, such as multi-stakeholder working groups. So sometimes it was discussed in the group that we see men who are more dominating these platforms. We need to continue raising awareness about CADAP at national levels for farmers and all other actors. If you look at private sector, if you bring research institutions, students, if you talk to, other people, public servants, sometimes people don't know about CADAP, so it's really something that we need to do. We need also to enhance communication, not only for farmers, local languages, but also to be versed on the CADAP. There has been, by the way, we recognize the outstanding efforts that has been made by one of the farm organizations, AFSA. I don't know if I pronounce it right. ISAF, yes, ISAF, which has produced a very good documentation. And those who didn't see it, please approach Mr. Joe. It is a very good documentation that can be a reference to all of us. It summarizes Kampala Declaration in about 15 pages. Very easy, very systematic to understand, and it's one of the tools that we can use, or similar other tools we can use. We need to increase the number of staff from one focal point, as it was discussed, where possible. Of course, it goes hand in hand with funds, but if we can have a coordination unit at the national level, probably under the Ministry of Agriculture, 2, 3, or other people, it can be very good. The issue of data, the issue of reporting, the issue of follow-up, and others can be resolved. At the regional levels, RFOs need to sign MOU with the RECs. We recognize that one REC has collaborated with RFO, which is proper, that worked with ACAS. So if other RECs can do the same, through these MOUs, the definition of working frameworks can be done, and it can enhance so many things in terms of awareness, in terms of implementation, evaluation, reporting, so many others. So we need also to raise awareness at the regional level, developing materials, also supporting the dissemination of the CADAP in local languages, as it has been highlighted before. At the continental level, it was addressed by the PAFO CEO that the finalization of MOU with PAFO is one of the important points, and probably see if through the MOU there can be a way that PAFO can be a service provider. Probably it can also, I don't know, but that's what we think from the group.
Don't look at me.
Huh?
Don't look at me.
No, I'm not looking at And
Look at the lady over there.
yes. She's close to me, yeah. And if possible, that PAFO can sit on the CADA private sector-led advisory council, where we can engage with private sector. You know, the private sector not only reach big number of people, but also they have resources. So if we engage, if we meet, discuss, and see how we can, bring this forward. Now, in terms of mechanisms, at the national level, we are proposing to institutionalize and fund the joint agricultural sector review platform, because all the interventions, we are now looking at the impact at the national level. And if this platform is very strong, people can interact, people can talk about the national agricultural investment plans, following up the execution, tracking the records, tracking the implementation, identifying the gaps at the national level. I think this can be done through this platform. And we need to also establish awareness raising campaigns. If at the national level, to make sure that people know, understand CADA. If there can be campaigns, it can be maybe quarterly basis, annual basis, I don't know, it depends on the context. But if these campaigns can be on a regular basis, people can continuously know CADA interventions and the progress mainly. And we need to establish and sustain non-state actor mechanisms. We have a lot of resources. We have students at the universities, but if you ask them, they don't know, and especially those who are doing agriculture at the higher learning institutions, universities. But if they can come, contribute to the farm organizations, they can bring these resources, these efforts, and this can be one of the good initiatives to make CADA forward. We need to institutionalize and fund regional joint agriculture sector review platform at the regional level. So it's almost same from the national level to regional level, and also at the continental level, we should institutionalize PAFO as an implementing agency of just a proposal. But if possible, we can also look at this, and of course through the MOU. And in terms of partners and support needed, we need support. Farm organizations, all of us need support from the government, ministry, especially Ministry of Agriculture, but also other ministries concerned. Ministry of Finance. If we talk about nutrition, we should involve Ministry of Health. There should be involvement of Ministry of Education and many more other ministries. And technical agencies, sometimes we forget the technical agencies. For the case of some countries, there are institute or technical agencies under the Ministry of Agriculture, but which are in charge of extension, research, and also dissemination of all, some of the interventions. So we need also to work with those partners. We need to have a catalytic technical assistance and support from development partners. And we need to establish clear relationships with private sector, as we said, sustain funding models, technology, and innovations. There are so many companies coming in various countries, having innovations, having, some models that can help farm organizations, that can help public institutions, that can help other private institutions, to move forward. Because we can't say trade, because trade is interconnecting, crossing the borders. There can be always this way. So REDS support the efforts to engage with development partners. Also, the AUC can support PAFO to connect to strategic partners in so many ways. I will not just read by one. So now, if we go to proposed success indicators, we need to look at the number of youth, women, and vulnerable people participating in those coordination units at the national level and regional level and national levels. Why do we say the number? Because we need to set indicators which are realistic, but also which are measurable. We can say women, youth, yes, but we need to highlight the number, then we can track the progress and performance, setting the targets. If certain number of people needs to be targeted 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, then we can know whether we are achieving our targets or not. We need to have a number of MOUs signed previous presenters said about the MOUs, yes, which is true, but we need to have the numbers. So I'm just trying to go to, I can see, okay, it's fine. Now, as we are talking about institutionalization and coordination, I just want to introduce to you and share with you what PAFO is doing in terms of coordination. One of the issues that has been addressed here is data. Data is used for, I think it has been well structured by Mrs. Elizabeth as that in the EFF, they are trying to have data, and this data are the references for based, advocacy, evidence-based. So we are also trying at the PAFO level to bring what we call PAFO Management Information System. It's a tool, it's a coordination tool that has been developed, and now it is at the stage of testing and feeding the information. So I will not just go into details, but I will just show you the outline and probably see how we can strengthen the tool. If you see, that's the dashboard, the projects, strategic planning, the regional farm organizations, national farm organizations, and all other details. Now, I will just show you very quickly, but before I demonstrate, why do we have this tool? In 2023, in Tunis, there was a General Assembly of PAFO, and one of the interventions made was the mapping strategy. The mapping strategy came in as a mechanism to tackle the gap or the challenge of data availability among PAFO members. The strategy was presented to delegates, appreciated, and now we had a piloting phase. We have piloted, the strategy. We have collected some data, and thanks to PAFO delegates, members who contributed positively, we got some data. Later on, we have developed the PAFO MIS as a sustainable tool to continuously map the members, gather information, know what's going on the field. And now we are at the phase of operational phase, where we are raising the awareness. We have organized trainings to members, and we are feeding the system. Of course, by feeding the system, we will upgrade, because sometimes when you design a system, if you don't use it, you can't know the gaps. So as we are feeding the system now, we can know the gaps. I will just take you through the system just very shortly. Right. Thank you very much for your kind attention.
Thank you very much. Can I ask the next group to come? This presentation are very, very rich. Honestly speaking, they are very, very rich. So we learn.
Thank you.